Running AI agents simultaneously and having multiple AI agents all working for you 24/7. Today I'm joined with Dennis Yu, who uses so many different LLMs and is using so many different AI agents. And what I want you to do, Dennis, if possible, is share your screen and show one or two examples where you have multiple AI agents all working simultaneously and how and what people can be doing with regards to AI. I've got quite a lot of followers that are using ChatGPT just for going back and forth, and they think they're quite advanced with how they prompt AI. But obviously, there's so much more when you can be running multiple AI agents. So I just want to show people what can be done and whether and what you recommend for contractors or SEO agencies. And should they be using all these different LLMs, or should they just be focusing on one? Like, what's your thoughts between
Yeah.
the different LLMs?
Yeah. So James, we could certainly debate the nuances between the different LLMs and like who's better at image generation versus memory versus writing blog posts and all that. But I think it's just better if you're not spending 16 hours a day like I am, start with Claude, right? If SEO or digital marketing or doing something that's business is your main thing, I would start with Claude. And the beauty of Claude, as you can see here, is that you've got chat, co-work, and code all together. And if you don't know what these things are, just think of them as you can have conversations or you can have the thing actually work on your computer, including you giving remote control directions from your phone, which is dispatch, and saving things into projects and even turning them into like infographics or building apps on the fly, which are called artifacts. All these different things. And then, of course, you can, when you want to scale something and have a job that kicks off every Monday at 5 a.m. or whatever, that's part of code, right? And the beauty is a lot of folks don't even need WordPress anymore. I mean, even Yoast, he said, like, he's the guy who built the big plugin. He says, you know what, I'm done with WordPress. And so, anyway, here's how I think about it, right? So you see here in Chrome, a few minutes ago, I said, hey, James and I made a lot of content. Can you take these YouTube videos and turn them into articles? And you can see it's already started. It's gone through 116 steps. And while it's done this work here, you can see it's opened a whole bunch of these tabs, right? And do you see like these tab groups? So the way I like to think about this is, now this looks crazy because there's like 70 tabs, right? But what's actually going on is some of these tabs here on the left, I like to have, like, this is totally up to you, but if you're running multiple agents, I like to have my tabs for Dennis, me as a human, over here on the left, and I might have like 10 tabs. And then everything here to the right of that are agents. So they're agents that, think of these as like departments. So there's agents that are processing YouTube videos, that are writing blog posts, that are sending emails to clients, that are updating the project management system, that are running ads, that are writing books, that are doing like all the, editing videos. And so I view these are teams of agents. So here's one where it's building a website right now for my buddy Jason Amato, right? And you can see as it's doing stuff, it'll say like, hey, do you want me to do this next? And I'll be like, yeah, do that. And then it'll say, yep, I did this. And then it'll say like, well, biggest remaining gaps of the analytics tracking installation. Okay, well, the agent can't do that. So I need to, or one of our guys need to do that, right? So maybe I could say, okay, well, for the Google Tag Manager and analytics and Search Console and all that, can you just send a note to web@blitzmetrics.com summarizing what we did here so they can go in and add the tags and tag manager and all that kind of stuff and then get back to you so you can continue what you talked about here, right? So it'll go ahead and do that, right? So I'm talking to it like a human, right? And so I don't need to remember this because I can go say, hey, go do this thing, and then if you don't hear back from so-and-so by Monday, then let me know and, send them another email because sometimes they don't reply, right? Or we're
Just a
managing GoDaddy in here.
Just a
Yeah,
quick one on
so
that, Dennis. You mentioned dispatch. So let's say I'm out of the office.
yeah.
Let's say I'm having a game of golf, and in between round five and round six, and I just quickly check my phone. Can I, in using Claude Dispatch on the phone, be able
Yeah.
to respond to that to then
Yeah.
say go and contact web, go and do this, so then the different AI agents then can continue as well.
Yeah, so when you have longer projects, like this one, this is American Dumpsters, and these guys have a conference and they have a lot of dumpster companies in here. You can see right here it's working on a really large data set, right? this guy's got a ton of YouTube videos. We have to prepare for the conference and get people to sign up and all this and that. So as it's working, it might get stuck. Or I might have an idea, like maybe I gave it some initial thoughts, but then later I had an idea like, oh, I forgot to tell it this thing and that thing. I can go into dispatch and say, oh, by the way, can you also do this and that? So that way I don't have to go back to my laptop. I've always been used to like doing work on my laptop because the phone is just not conducive to doing great work. But now with dispatch, the sort of like moving things along, like little sort of adjustments along the way, I do on my phone, and it's just freed up so much of my time because I was that kind of a-hole where in the restaurant I would open up my laptop because all of my tools and everything else is there, but now it's able to work. I'm able to just talk to it from the phone, and it is a walkie-talkie to my computer.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's so
Well,
good.
you see it
And with
working
regards
right now.
to,
You see the little spinning orange thing? It's doing all this stuff right now.
and then with regards to Claude for Code, how many different AI agents can you have working simultaneously?
As many as you want. I mean, it's limited by your own human memory, not by the context or memory limits of the tool itself. And the people I know who have dove deep, James, they say like the limitation is like my ability to project manage or multitask across too many projects. And even I find if I have more than like 7 or 8 projects going at the same time, I start to lose track.
Yeah,
Then
and then
you
with
don't
regard,
get to finish stuff.
so with regards to running these multiple AI agents simultaneously, how different is this? Because there's certain people that are using workflows like NA10 or Make.
Sure.
How much different is this versus NA10 or Make?
I think you can replace all those. I just feel like we should have fewer and fewer systems because it's just too much friction.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
agree because
why not have all your logic centralized, right?
and this is my concern where I'm getting quite a few different contractors or customers or friends that are coming out, reaching out, and they're basically saying that, oh, I'm using OpenClaw, oh, I'm using NA10, oh, I'm using Make, oh, I've got this workflow, oh, I'm using Perplexity, oh, I'm using ChatGPT. And I feel like the memory's all over the place and there's bits going on that's just not centralized into one place. And I feel like now I should be telling people, especially from what you've been educating me on, I should be telling people that you should have a centralized using Claude. There's so many things that you can be doing within that just doesn't need all this mess, because otherwise people are getting shiny object syndrome, and I just think things are becoming too all over the place.
I'll give you an example. So I have been crazy about WordPress plugins. We built our own. We use a lot of them. I love WordPress. I've just been one of those like dyed-in-the-wool WordPress people. But I've since been convinced by Yoast that, the thing can just like WordPress is made for humans. But if you don't need humans to log into an admin or have a workflow, then why not just have the agent do everything? So I did a test for the last year with Link Whisper, which is a link building plugin for WordPress. And I've had 3 meetings with the CEO. I paid them a lot of money and had them optimize some of our sites that were like medium size. We're not going to let them touch our big sites, right? And then I think I told Srinath this. I said, we're going to have Claude do the internal link building on some other sites, and we're just going to see who does a better job. We absolutely crushed them, and our agents did it quickly, and it took a Link Whisper over a year, and they made lots of mistakes. And then the funny thing, this really pissed off their whole team. I had Claude come in and audit the work they did and find all the mistakes, and then showed that to them, and they got all defensive and whatnot. I'm like, how are you going to argue the facts? The old way of doing things, which is like manually linking, or their thing was, oh, our AI agent's so smart, it'll automatically find like which orphan pages need to be linked to what and all, and it sounds good. But those same instructions, because they're mechanical rules based, can be done by an agent, right? So I think that whole thing is being collapsed. You don't need Microsoft Word anymore. You don't need all these other tools. You can just use one tool to do all of it. And then the beauty is you have centralized memory, so you don't have to, because these other apps don't talk to each other, right? So you have this fragmentation.
If Yoast is saying WordPress isn't needed anymore because users don't need to log in, the agents can be doing it, what would then the AI agents be using? Would it just literally be raw HTML and CSS and that?
You don't have to mess with JavaScript. You don't have to mess with plugins. The sites load 3 times faster. You know, it's like the whole point of headless CMS, but even better because you don't have a security concern. You don't have all these different vectors where you can be attacked, right?
Yeah.
Because it's all just HTML.
Yeah, that's crazy. Anyone who's watching this and you're thinking you're quite advanced with regards to prompting the AI and not using AI agents, I would strongly recommend to go and follow Dennis Yu. He's doing a lot of testing. He says he's doing 18 hours a day. I believe some days he's doing 20 hours plus. He's split testing these LLMs like there's no tomorrow. I think having these AI agents running simultaneously is going to be the future and what you need to do. I think Claude is the first step from what Dennis is saying. Dennis, I appreciate everything you do for everybody, and I hope to have you on again soon.
Thank you, James. And guys, I want to see you kick some butt here. This is so awesome. We got to jump on it.